Hello, in this short video we are going to investigate together the following A+ level problem. It's a problem on the topic of differentiation rules. Consider the following functions: the function f with this rule and the function g with this rule. What is 2f of 1 times f prime of 1 times g of 1 plus g prime of 1 times f of 1 squared? That would be a good idea to pause the video at this point and give it a try to see which one of the following options is the correct answer to this problem. Okay, of course, one naive way to approach the problem is to calculate the derivative of f and the derivative of g and calculate this expression directly. But of course, as you see, if you want to do that, it becomes very tedious. It's always a good idea to stop thinking before doing the brute force to calculate things in mathematics. Okay, the first thing I ask myself is, what can I do with this combination? Okay, so let us, instead of 1, which repeats itself as the argument to all of these functions, let me for the time being replace x to see what happens. This is a scratch paper work. I'm just thinking loudly. So 2f of x, f prime of x, g of x, and then plus g prime of x, f of x squared. This is what is wanted. But then, as you see, this part can be calculated, can be written or rewritten in the form of f of x squared prime. Yes? Why is that? Because according to the chain rule, if I differentiate this part, this goes 2 goes down, and then this will be f of x to power 1, but f prime of x. Yes? Because according to the chain rule, the derivative of u squared is 2u multiplied by u prime. Okay. So this part, as you see, is the derivative of this function multiplied by g of x itself plus the derivative of g of x multiplied by this function itself. So it is also a product rule. Okay, so this scratch paper work is done. Now I would say that let h of x be equal to this function f of x to the power of 2 multiplied by g of x. Okay, then h prime of x becomes what? Becomes the derivative of the first one according to the product rule, which itself is a chain rule, so it becomes 2f of x, the derivative of the base f prime of x, multiplied by the second function itself, plus the first function itself multiplied by the derivative of the second function. Okay, which is exactly this combination. So in other words, the problem is asking you to calculate h prime of 1 because every x is now replaced by 1. So I just understand that the question mark is nothing except h prime of 1. Okay, so now of course I can calculate h prime of 1 in this way, but we realize this is a very tedious work to do. Let me calculate h of x directly and then differentiate and replace x with 1. This is an alternative. Okay? So here, this alternative, as you will see, is much simpler to do than the original version. Okay, so what is the problem? I will need to calculate this combination first. So h of x is equal to f of x squared. F of x is a fraction. When I want to square it, I square the numerator and I square the denominator. Squaring the numerator gives me x. Squaring the denominator gives me the first one squared, 2 times the first one times the second one, and the second one squared, yes? and the second one squared. Okay, and now multiplied by g of x itself. So I copy and paste g of x here. Yes. So what I did, h of x is f of x squared, which I wrote it here, multiplied by g of x, which I wrote it here. Now you see that this problem, this expression that caused problem for us is gone from the numerator denominator because they are identical. And then h of x becomes much simpler, just x over x plus 1, which is a very simple quotient rule now. So the derivative of h becomes the derivative of the numerator 1 times x plus 1 minus the derivative of the denominator, which is also 1, multiplied by the numerator, which becomes x, divided by denominator squared. But now x and x are also gone, so I have 1 on the numerator and then x plus 1 squared in the denominator. But the question mark, do you remember, is just h prime of 1. So I replace x with 1, so it becomes 1 over 4. So the answer to this problem is just 1 over 4. So this is option B. I hope that this video was useful for you. Until the next video, be safe and goodbye. Thank you.